Hey everybody, it's Jeremy.
And Jay.
And we are back with more Tales of Destiny Director's Cut. This is episode 64. And I think we might try to beat the game tonight. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna take these lenses back at the very least. Ooh, let's get some food. So that I don't forget that.
Now, was there any, things that we were working towards re-raising to? Did we need any yellow lenses?
I don't really know. Honestly, I think there might be a couple things here or there that we could. We're working on Lilith stuff, right? So Lilith needs green lenses to get to her gold ladle, and then I'm assuming she'll need yellow lenses to get to whatever's after gold.
We needed 20. Oh yeah, she's got this weird
and
progression.
I mean,
if it's gonna go 600, 500, 400, then you're probably not gonna get it.
I don't know.
Everything bumps up by 100 again.
Yep. We're gonna have to see what's what. But for now,
as far as Kongman goes, I think I have my best in slot for both weapon and armor, so I'm golden.
So you have the mithril plate. I mean, arguments can be made depending on what you want to be wearing for your plate, right? Because I think there are certain abilities that you could get, right? The mithril plate doesn't have any abilities; it just has the best stats, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And we got the best belt from the arena.
Is middle belt the best belt?
That's the belt we got for beating Lilith.
Yeah, but there's arena past Lilith.
Well, then maybe there's better belts. I don't know.
there might. I think there might be better belts.
And I also have the 2 accessories that prevent me from debilitating myself for buffing. So I'm really happy with all the things I've got.
Yeah. Oh, we did. So if we do have free time, right? One of the things that I do think would be cool is swapping our controls over and letting you take Kongman through the arena. I think that would be fun. Here we go. Shoot a hole in the moon. That's totally what we're doing, right? That's this game. I gotta spend some time tomorrow. I've got so many things on my plate right now. I'm working on so many projects, but I've got to spend some time tomorrow doing some low rank and high rank hunts to finish off that fucking Volvidon hammer. I'm like motherfucker. I actually want to spend some time and Zach sent me the stuff to get the fucking spirit bird shit taken care of. So I'm like, yeah, I should probably do that.
If you want somebody to help you speed things up, let me know. I'll jump in.
I mean, when I do it, I will probably send out a call. Not that I need assistance speeding up low or high rank, really, especially not in Volvidon. True. But
yeah,
it'll just be fun to hang out.
それは大丈夫。みんながレンズを集めてくれたからね。きっと外角を打ち抜いてみせるよ。
そういえば、打ち抜くのって外角のどこでもいいの？
いや、どこを狙うかはすでに決まっている。
Okay, he knows exactly where he's shooting. That's good. That's good. It's not a crap shoot. Because what if the game legitimately did well, we're gonna try to shoot at this thing, and then you shoot and it doesn't work, and it's like, well, you gotta go get more lenses.
I mean, games do be like that.
Games totally be like that.
それでは私たちは陛下に一旦ご報告に上がろうか。そうですね。
This is where Reynolds reveals that he's evil. No? Okay. It's King! Hey! A king dies tonight.
Yeah.
Can I help you, Odysseus?
Odie Bodie.
Odys boy.
法も完成し、いよいよすべての準備が整ったようだ。明朝作戦を決行する。
明日
か。ついては諸君には今夜一晩ゆっくり休息をとってほしい。
This is gonna be like the quintessential last night before the end RPG scenario.
It's what I generally call the campfire scene.
Yeah.
It like majority of the time it takes place in front of a campfire, but it doesn't have to. But it's just like this is kind of like what me and Brad call it. Like that's like the last conversation before the final push. It's the campfire scene.
You call it the campfire scene because of Chrono Trigger, right?
Well, I mean,
like,
well, no, because they didn't have a camp. They don't really have like the campfire scene in Chrono Trigger doesn't take place before the final fight. It's just one scene amongst many of the optional quests.
Yeah, but isn't it like triggered at the end, basically at the end? Like you have to pretty much be at the end, and it's like that.
Like that optional quest is right before you go like commit to beating the game. So yeah, okay. I guess that would count.
It is optional though, but yeah, I feel you. Like there, a lot of games, especially JRPGs, have that quintessential kind of like final night, like last meal, final night, campfire scene, whatever, where all of the the potentially sad. Oh, if we don't make it out of this conversations, or
Final Fantasy 15 might have the best campfire scene of all time. Like, contextually, like by my definition, campfire scene.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't played 15, so don't ruin it for me. But
I will not.
Not that, I mean, I've seen so much of 15. I feel like the good thing about 15 though is it's so crazy and flashy, and there's so much shit going on that I've seen a lot of 15 just because it's been a long time, right? But I have very little context for so much of it. You know, so.
Yeah, I get it. I really like 15. I thought it was really good.
I want to play it.
I mean, especially after coming off of 13.
My thing was for the longest time, like I was not a console player. I'm still not a console player, right? And then like 15 coming out on PlayStation, PS4 or whatever for the longest time. Like it's out on Steam now, and I have access to it thanks to Steam Share, right? But it's that scenario of like,
I think what's important to like come to terms with and understand early on is that turn-based Final Fantasy is dead.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
the entire time you're gonna be thinking like this would have been cool if it was like turn-based or classic or something like that. But that just doesn't. That hasn't been a thing since like 10.
10-2.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically not true. I mean, like, technically 13 is turn-based.
Yeah, it's got an ATB.
Yeah, the 13s are all turn-based. Technically, we're not. I mean, we've got 2 Final Fantasies that are not turn-based. Right?
I guess to specify, I should say traditional battle system. Like
fair, right?
Like,
I'm okay. Here's the thing. I'm okay with it not being traditional per se, but I would prefer less active battle systems in my Final Fantasy. Don't get me wrong. I'm more than happy to have them in Final Fantasy like games, right? But like I would love to have You know, like I don't know. I think for example, 12 is like a very interesting one, right? Where it has it technically doesn't have a traditional battle system, right? But there are technically kind of turns because you can like give
ATB.
direct inputs, right, etc., etc. And I like that border balance. I'm not the biggest fan of 13, but again, it's still a system that I can get behind. And like 15 looks like a lot of fun, so I'm not gonna like diss it, but I do hope that there is a realm where like it's not just all super active battles for Final Fantasy for the rest of forever. But I do kind of feel like you're right. It's gonna be like that, yeah.
I'm saying the 16 is looking pretty similar.
16, absolutely. Which, oh my god, you know my opinions on this. Like,
it should be Evilise.
It should
bring back Evilise.
It should be Evilise. 16 is the perfect opportunity to take
bring it back.
What was established with the awesomeness of tactics and just bring it back.
And imagine all the things, all the fucking references that you could throw in there. Like, you don't have to like bring in characters like so here's the thing, right? Final Fantasy 12 takes place like 1,000 years before Vagrant Story, right?
Yeah.
So like it would be really weird, but you could still like have Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 12, and Vagrant Story like references in the game.
Absolutely,
like,
easy peasy.
You could and you gotta love Evilise for just such cool diversity of races. Like
cool diversity of races, cool lore,
cool races.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. 100%. And here's the thing, I'm not even a big fan of the 12 and Tactics Advanced races, honestly.
I love them.
Like, I like them. I think they're cool, but I like Tactics and Vagrant Story better, right? Because Tactics and Vagrant Story,
they're better.
They
clearly,
well, it's not that they're. I mean, they're better for different reasons, right? But from like a species or race diversity scenario, there, what I really like is that Tactics and Vagrant Story hit that kind of like, this is just a step removed from like medieval era, right? It really hits that close to home fantasy mark for me, whereas Advanced and 12 are more fanciful fantasy, right? They're almost the more alien-esque fantasy, right? Where you get like all of the different, you know, elves and dwarves and orcs and, you know.
But you get like, that's the thing. Like, I appreciate the.
I appreciate both.
They're not the basic the shit you're expecting. They have like Nomu, they have Vera, they have Banga. It's just like cool, like really, like I don't know, not esoteric, but like I don't know.
They made up their own shit. They didn't just go for like cool. the
and damn it, like Final Fantasy 12. What is your fucking problem? We have a full cast of characters, and only one is non-human.
I agree. One. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. They had the opportunity to have a cool, strong Banga character in there, or to subvert expectations and have it be like a nerdy Banga character, right? Like they could have gone so many different ways. Right, like, well, like I could imagine subverting expectations and having like, you know, imagine Final Fantasy IX Vivi, but Banga with a staff doing like this, right? Like,
I imagine,
right?
I imagine a Banga that has like glasses, but the
spectacles
arms,
all the way.
The arms are like really long, so they sit on the end of his nose.
That would be so funny. Yeah, absolutely.
He kind of like looks over them all the time, like Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
Oh man! But speaking of Vagrant Story, you should probably check out the the follow animations that I've
I do
submitted.
need to, like, you've done so much work that I need to jump on.
It's
I've
so
just
easy
been
to,
I've been
like,
recording so much shit here lately that I'm just like swamped doing
I was like-
renders and all this other shit.
Oh, I get it, but it's like I'm
I
thinking
did
of-
7 recordings yesterday for Nazca, trying to catch up to the point to where I can just be like, all right, Nazca is on release, go. So like, fuck me.
Yeah, like I was thinking, like, all right, what games do I know Jeremy likes, and
Oh, yeah.
what could be somehow like tied in somehow into like somebody joining,
Sure,
or
yeah.
following, or you know. And one of the ones I decided, I found a GIF, and I've got to find some associated audio file to go with it, and I found one of the beginning of Vagrant Story of Ashley saying. Reinforcements. I am the reinforcements.
I am the reinforcements. Nice. Hold up. I gotta go look at it. You got a
Oh,
whole
God.
slew of
There's
things in here. Oh my god, you have the Shining Force 2 witch.
Yeah, I've got the
fuck?
Shining Force 2 Witch, and I've got another for Shining Force 2. It's just basically the party and a familiar track. I did the same thing for Final Fantasy Tactics.
Nice.
I am.
Oh, it doesn't go over. I can't show the stream like this. It doesn't
Oh,
go
you
over
can't?
the layout. My goodness. Nice job, layout. Gosh.
Well, you're
That's
capturing
pretty
a program,
dope.
not the display.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome, though. I like that. I like that a lot. Actually, there's a couple in here that I see immediately that I'm like, oh, I will probably enjoy that.
I made
like,
some.
Liberation, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah,
It's
Liberation.
what you think it is.
Oh my goodness.
Guess what Toad is?
I can imagine. I don't like. Do you? Is the companion audio chandelier just screeched? That's
Like
that's
the very
wonderful.
beginning of the
My God.
chorus.
Very, very nice. Very nice. I should just put that as like a
Replace it
fucking-
with more wine.
I should just put that as like a channel point scenario. Like you just pay 10,000 to fucking chandelier me, which is gonna scare the piss out of me every time it happens. By the way,
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, we're chatty tonight, Jay.
Yeah,
I
we've
feel.
been here for a minute.
Speaking of liberation, I feel like we've been liberated because now I'm like, I mentioned this to you at the beginning of the stream or right before the stream that I'm like, oh, we've decided to like beat the game now. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, let's fucking do it, right? Yeah.
Unless we find something to talk about.
Well, when I mean go mode, I mean like, I don't mean go mode actually when I say that. I mean I feel less pressured to figure out all the things that we can do and keep us on a task and be completing things. Because now I'm just like, oh, the task is beat the game. I can just follow the fucking guide or the fucking, suggestions for that. Anyways, 16 got delayed though, right?
Yeah, it did.
Till when? Is it this year or is it next year?
No, it's not going to be this year.
Oh, you know what? I am a little sad for everyone who was wanting to play it, but I'm also a little happy because I still don't have a fucking PS5. Not that that's gonna change in between now and then. Yeah,
Finally.
I know.
Finally.
So what did
Demon
you
Souls.
what did you actually do to finally get yours? Did you do anything special or did you just keep looking?
Rachel. All right, so Rachel had there was this service that you could pay for from Sony themselves that would put you in like a priority queue, and
the manufacturers of the item that has a scarcity issue charge people to be in a priority queue.
It's like $10.
Yeah, but it's $10 for how many people?
I don't know. Yeah, no, it's shitty.
50,000
like,
people? Like, oh
yeah, no,
my goodness.
I get it. It's shitty. Here's the thing, like, this entire time, I have been keeping an eye on, like, Newegg and shit, and I've been, like, doing this shuffle and all that shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't working. Rachel was like, we could try this. I'm like, fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I might do that. Like, when I actually am like, okay, time to buy one, you know? Because again, right, like, from a consumer standpoint, I'm like, fuck it, it's $10. I'm paying, what, like $500 for an item? Like, what's $10 for the fucking thing? But from a corporate standpoint, that is manipulative as shit.
Right. Well,
that's
I mean,
fucked up.
I think it is fucked up. But I think it would be worse if they had like artificially limited resources.
Yes. I
But
do agree,
they're
right?
actually restricted on like the units they can put out.
Yes.
Like,
I do feel for that situation. I absolutely do.
I would rather spend, $10 extra than $400 extra from a goddamn scalper.
Sure.
怒って
Yeah.
なんかいないわ
It's just.
Yeah. No, it's the principle. It's not great. It's shitty. It's scummy.
例によってざれ言なんだが
But like, goddamn, I want to play Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 when it comes out. I want to play God of War. I've been wanting to play Demon Souls for a long time, and I'm having a blast doing it. I will say though, I've only played it twice, and one of those times was a New Game Plus, and it wasn't the same build. So I've only ever played the game with a strength build. So I decided I was going to do Dex. This is the first time me actually having to deal with what it takes to upgrade a sharp weapon, and it fucking sucks. Like, real fucking bad. The drop rate for the materials necessary is torturous.
That's honestly one of the reasons why I have not been so like incredibly hype about like I've got to get a PS5 because I've got to play what, right? Like for me,
Returnal.
For me,
That's
like,
it for me.
so Returnal has looked really, really good, and I would probably love playing Returnal. Demon Souls, I will probably have a good time, but will I have as good a time as I've had with Elden Ring? Probably not, right? It is an up-to-date version, or it is a more modern version of the old Demon Souls, but it's still got a lot of the kludge.
I'm gonna throw this out there. No, it is not. Like, Blue Point, who did the remake, did everything in their power to keep it
to keep it the same.
accurate
Yeah, absolutely.
to the original game as possible. It is basically a coat of paint, but goddamn, is it a great coat of paint? Right. It looks so fucking good, dude.
To my understanding, right, like, this is one of the things that I looked into when I was really excited about it way back like 2 years ago, right, is that they made some of the weirdness with some of the controls less weird, right? So
I will say there have been a few minor
there's just minor quality of life things. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you have the ability to anytime, any point in the game, to take in your inventory and just magically transport it to storage.
Yeah, whereas you used to not be able to do that.
So, and here's the thing, in Demon Souls, you're used to Souls games. You have an encumbrance for your shit you have equipped.
You have encumbrance from your inventory too.
You have a
separate
item encumbrance.
Yes, yeah.
And you could be in the middle of level and find a full suit of like full plate.
Pick it up and then be like,
and immediately be clunk, right? And you have no recourse for fixing this other than to drop it on the ground. And if you die, that shit just disappears.
Whereas the new version,
now you pick that shit up, you can just be like, magically teleport to my fucking storage. I don't even give a right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I have not leveled the stat that gives you more item burden at all.
Why the fuck would you? It's just, look, they knew what they were doing. They knew that was a stupid thing. That's why they just put that in, and now people can ignore it. basically.
I wanna
But
say
it's
they put
those
in
types of things
new-
that I'm talking about, right? Like there are those little types of things that are going to make it a superior version compared to the old version. However, it is still not like a modern, like it's not even Dark Souls 3, right? Like
it still plays like
it's
old PS3 game.
Exactly.
It's what
right?
it is.
So it's that scenario of like when I think about it, I'm like, okay, I've got Returnal and I've got Demon's Souls, which I'm not gonna enjoy as much as Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It'll be good, right? But that's pretty much it. The other things that I'm looking at that I have access to, right, are just like better than the PS4 version, right? What's a Gastrodon? I don't remember what Gastrodon is.
Okay, patch. I'll try.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so I've got Demon Souls and Returnal right now, and I'm going to get Final Fantasy Part 2 or Final Fantasy 7 Part 2, God of War, and eventually Final Fantasy 16. Those are all I'm planning on picking up. And I know like probably all those games are eventually going to come to PC, but that's going to be like a year later, and I find my patience is not what it used to be.
Yeah. My
Also,
situation is...
Speaking of patience, please entertain the guests for a minute while I BRB.
Okay. I'll actually play the game is what I'll do. Otis Botus. What are you doing? You want a treat? Lippo moved immediately when I said treat. You want a treat? It's kitty treat time! Alright, Otis. Odotus. I have 2 treats here. One is for you, and you get to eat yours whole. The other is for Lippo Cat, and she must eat hers broken up. Lippo Cat? Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Good boy. You don't chew on yours enough. Just inhale yours. Alright, we got cats. Hey! Jay actually got the Gastrodon. Nice. Alright. Oh, I forgot I even had these. I have these Copico cappuccino candies. They're actually pretty good. I will eat one. The cat's got a treat. I want a treat. You want a Copico? Hey, 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 boy bean. Be careful with what you're, clawing. Don't claw the hand that feeds you. Now. Actually difficult to get open. Ow! I've been stabbed! By myself. God. Really being very difficult to open. When you don't even like sweets. Okay. Lippo also wants to sniff. What? I don't have... you have your treat. You... Greedy cats. Greedy fucking cats, y'all. That is kind of rude, Dimless. Stan, go confess your feelings to someone.
さっきはスタンにあんなこと言ってよかったのかよ。使命感に駆られるあまり、生き急がれても困るからな。身近なところに執着する対象があるくらいでちょうどいいのさ。なるほどな。と言いつつ、 実際は面白がってるだけかもしれない。
God damn it, Johnny. You fucking stir in the pot.
ただまあなんというか、もう一つの要素があることを見抜けなかったのは失敗だったかもな。
もう一つの要素だ。
誰だ？フィリオ。
お休み中のところ申し訳ありません。お話ししたいことがあって中に入ってもよろしいでしょうか。
Uh-oh.
うん。
What's up? Odie, do you think she's gonna confess? Odie's like, I don't know what that means, Pa. Will you give me another treat? I will not give you another treat. What are you rolling at me?
失礼します。
Go.
フィリオ？
私ちょっとだけ勇気を振り絞ることにします。スタンさん。
うん。
実は私スタンさんが何をするべきなのか知ってますよ。
Wait, what? Come on, Philia.
私がスタンさんを呼びに行った時もこうして私と話している間も
This game. Like, you know what you gotta do. It's not me.
スタンさんの心の中に常に浮かんでいるで
Yeah, it's Leon.
それが答えです。
フィリオ。
あとは言わなくてもいいですよね。
ありがとう。俺、ちょっと行ってくる。
Yeah. Stan boy.
本当にこれでよかったのか？
お二人とも鈍感で不器用ですから。
Alright, you're the pot calling the kettle black, Philia. Calm down.
これくらい背中を押して差し上げないとどうにもならないんですわ。
鈍感はともかく、不器用に関しては主
Oh my god.
ものじゃぞ。
Clemente, you know what? Shout out to the translators. They have made Clemente not a complete pervy piece of shit. So good job, Clemente.
いいんです。これは私自身
Oh,
が
what a
これまで
miss.
選択してきた立場なんですから。
Johnny said the whole like thing about like, all right, it's our last night. Time to, you know, write messages to the people you care about or your family in case you die, or, you know, confess feelings to the people you love. And then Stan was like, well, I don't know what to do because I'm thick. And then Philia was like, I'm gonna go talk to Stan. And then when she started talking to Stan, she was like, hold up. You ain't even thinking about me now, are you? She was like, alright, that's your answer, Dumbo. Go, like, talk to the person you're thinking about. So she's all like, you know, jonesing over Stan, but realizes that Stan's heart's not in it. So she sends him on his way to who the fuck else do
You
we think?
mean he's an
い
idiot?
つの間
And
にか
Well,
どんな感じでしたけど
I mean, regardless of whether he's an idiot, right? He's definitely into Rudy, but not into Philia.
つくづくそんな役回りじゃの。
And Clemente was being actually like really
they-
like
they
good about it.
changed
That's what I was
Clemente
saying when you came back. I was like, the translators
Yeah.
did a good job of making Clemente not a pervy old piece of shit.
じゃがそんな主を。
See?
わしはいい女
You
だ
know,
と思う
it's
ぞ。
great. Like, he's encouraging, he's, you know, talking to her seriously. He's not over there like,
今頃気づいたんですか？そんな当たり前のこと。
what do you... I also gave the cats treats.
Did Odie get treats?
And now he's looking at me like there's something going on.
今俺がやるべきなのは
Also, there's only 4 beds.
Like, genders aside, that's not enough.
The implication being is if we're all bunking up in the same gender scenario, between Stan, Johnny, Woodrow, and Kongman, those are some tight quarters, yo. Okay, we gotta go find the love of our life, Mary.
I mean, she is. Like, if we had to say, like, best SO, it's Mary.
Yeah, I'd pick Mary.
Absolutely.
You're... Hey! There's Mary.
やらなくてはいけないことはもう一通り
And
済ま
there's
せた
Chelsea as well, creeping in the corner.
ダリスに会えなくて
Man,
残念だろ
Why is Chelsea over there creeping in the shadows?
I'm gonna tell you, I only have eyes for this kebab, honestly. Like,
There's like a dangling piece. You just want to.
absolutely.
No, but seriously, why is Chelsea over here creeping in the shadows?
She's
This
always
14-year-old
following.
child.
She's always following Woodrow around. I mean, she is part stalker, but she is also part like bodyguard for him, basically. Like obviously, she's not following him around because she's his bodyguard, but she does function as that at the same time.
失礼これは愚問だったな
ウッドロー、お前は妻を迎えないのか？
いずれそういう時が来るだろうが今は全く考えられないな
そうか。仮にいや、よそう。私は冗談が下手だ。きっと笑
もう少しだけこうして海を眺めてみるか
ああ、悪くない。
All right then.
Rudy?
How's it going, Rudy?
Oh, she doesn't
Hanging
look like she wants
outside-
anybody's shit right now.
Hanging outside your evil father's home?
ほら、偶然ね。寝てたんじゃ
Yeah,
なか
the
った
only person in there is the maid.
Well, there's a couple of staff in the house.
Oh.
ここへ来れば会えると思った
Be-do,
あんたにしては随分頑張ったセリフね。まあ、ギリギリ合格かな。
I wonder if there's like a
あんたの対象に関して
relationship
よ。
gauge, and this could play out differently.
I doubt it.
it.
I doubt it.
あんたさ、
Because, like, what would it be based
この
off of?
戦い
Like,
終わったら
having her in the party fighting with her?
Yeah,
or
that's
something
what
like
a
that?
lot of
There's,
it, like, if
there's
it's
no,
not
like,
private action.
choices or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like
また
battle
旅
usage,
に
but
出ようかと思ってる
if that's the thing, then Rudy and Stan would, well, maybe not, because we didn't use Stan that much.
I still use Stan probably about
Alright,
half
so
the
he
game
was
total.
probably used.
About half the game. Because I
Alright,
use
Rudy has been used from the time we got
every
here.
every chance we had to use her. But remember, there were like 2 parts in the game where we couldn't use her, right? Aside from the beginning when we didn't have her. So she's probably been about 75% of the game. I've probably used Stan about 50% of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just Stan's such a good character, and I mean, in the beginning, I just used Stan, really.
Yeah,
うーん
but I mean, we had him binged for a long time,
私たち
like
もつくづく
just for those stat
今の
items.
因縁で結ば
Like
れ
the
てる
last-
ね
Probably go ahead and dump the rest.
Like the last
of.
50% of the game. Yeah, I mean,
そうかも
well,
しれ
you
ない
know,
な
we can totally dump the red ones.
No, all of them. There's no point in sitting on it, especially if we're not gonna. Well, I guess Stan is binge.
Just
No,
because,
we just dump them all.
just
Like, what are we gonna
because,
save 'em
just
for?
because we're going to potentially finish the game tonight doesn't mean we might not be doing things later, or I might not do things later.
古い話を持
Oh,
ち出すな
come on.
You don't know. You don't know my
あ
life.
の時は不意に何かが飛んできて助かったんだ
あれやったの私。
Oh, she finally reveals. She's been sitting on that for a long time. That she was the one who threw the apple at the very beginning of the fucking game and saved his ass.
そうだったのか
Home?
あ
So
んたが
that's.
あんまり間抜けなもんでつい手助けしちゃったって
You
わ
were so dumb I had to help you out. Wow, that's fucked up, Rudy.
じゃあルーティは俺の命の恩人でもあるわけだ
け。思えばあの時から始まって今までいろいろなことがあったわよね。
Her legs clipping through the bench.
Yeah, I
and
know.
it's
I
fucking
I
me.
decided not to point it out, but you're right.
The text is it's great now, by the way. I'm
本当
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
happy that we did the
いろ
patch.
いろな
The
ことが
fuck is a snubbull?
A snubble? It's like a pink bulldog. Snubble. Actually, I mean, I'll try to go for a snubble.
でもそれも明日まで。あんたとの因縁も今度こそ最後。
I like you, Rudy. I like the cut of your jib.
やっと宣戦するってものよ。
That's fucked up.
ルーティあのさ
Denied.
この戦いが終わったら俺と二人で旅をしないか
He's taking a shot. It's sailing. It's sailing.
She's just like,
Anta.
nah.
私のこと口説いてる。
Well, call him out. Yep, call him out.
これってそういうことになるのか
Come on, Stan. Just own it, dude.
Part of the problem is I honestly don't know that Stan thinks like that. Like,
俺はただルーティに
He
これからも
has
そばにいてほしいと思っただけで
Stan throughout the entire game has never once, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, entertained the concept of understanding the concept of a relationship. I think every other male and female character in the entire game have. Stan have not, right? Like, everyone else has been like, I honestly don't know. Yeah. How's it going, Makai? Today is Friday. We have a switch of the schedule. We're doing Monster Hunter tomorrow and Tales of Destiny today. Cause Mitch could not make tonight for Monster Hunter. So. Welcome to the stream. Anyways,
And
what I'm
we
saying,
have a feeling that Monster Hunters as a stream is on its last leg.
pretty close to over. Yeah, probably.
he
But
wanted-
anyways, as I was saying, right? Like, Kong Man, obviously, like, it comes out of the gate swinging for Philia. Philia comes out of the
yeah,
gate
like-
basically swinging for Stan. Woodrow doesn't show feelings for anyone, but he does talk about the concept of relationships and marriage and things like that. Obviously, Chelsea has, the hots for Woodrow. Rudy has talked about relationships and liking people and the idea there, right? Like, Mary is literally married, right? Johnny has talked about, like, the pains of love and wooing people, right? Like, every other character has talked about relationships or been somewhat involved. Stan has never mentioned the idea of a relationship or being romantically involved or desiring someone or anything. Even in this moment, he's not confessing. He's just like, I just want to spend more time with you. He's that thick.
同じところに立って同じ方向を見て
See? See? How's it going, Viv? My
だから
goodness.
そういうのを世間じゃ口説くっていうのよ。
そうなんだ。
See?
知らなかった。
See? He had no fucking idea. What the fuck?
言った後でオタオタしないでよ。閉まらないわね。
What sloppy?
Getting flustered. The delivery wasn't sloppy, it's the fluster
反対したのもあ
afterwards.
るのかな。
Rudy
そ
smiling?
れで
What?
返事は
Well, she's liked him for a long time.
What?
He basically did the Leon tour where he was just incessant and around enough to where Leon finally was like, yeah, I guess we're friends. And now Rudy's just like, yeah, I guess I like you. And yet Destiny 2 somehow happened. I guess that's technically true. Look, like,
We don't know. I'm assuming that the main character's mother is Rudy. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
I would assume, right, like, Stan can be led to water and drink from it, right? Basically, right? Like, he's thick, he doesn't know any better, but yeah.
聞きたい？
He can be taught, I guess.
もちろん。
もちろん。
私の答えはね、
I really hope she turns around and is
Absolutely
just like,
not, you-
it's like, nah!
Never, you fucking egg.
内緒。
What?
She just checked maybe.
That
She,
lead
she
up
drew a
and
third box and checked maybe.
son of a bitch, Rudy. That's bullshit.
なんだよそれ。
What? Right? That's horseshit.
私に答える義務はないもの。どうしようとかって
I
でしょ。
mean, technically, I guess she's right.
Do you think he cares if complaining will help or not?
それはそうだけど。
My god.
保留ってことにしとくわ。無事に帰ってきたら言うから。
Are you protecting yourself, Rudy, because you don't want to say yes and then have Stan die and then be like, well, I hate everything in life now? Ugh. I mean, I might pout, yeah.
たく、仕方ないわね。いい？明日は勝つだけじゃダメなの。そんなのは当然のことだから。
Personal space.
生きて帰ってくるの。みんな一緒に。わかった。
Alright. Alright. Fair enough. Had a serious Rudy moment.
私の返事聞きたいんでしょ？だったら何が何でも生き抜くのよ。
Alright.
ルーティーこそそこまで行ったからには絶対だぞ。
当たり前でしょ？この私を殺されたって死ぬもんですか？
That has the feeling of one of my, like, don't die until you die kind of scenarios.
If you die, I'll kill you.
約束しよ
約束よ。
Oh,
今
that
のところ
was.
はこんな感じかな。
A little jarring.
Ugh.
They really wanted us out of that moment quickly.
They could have at least, like, I don't know if they had
Pushed
the ability
out.
to pan, but
Yeah.
good
う。そう
lord.
だな。
Just pin. Oh, okay.
後の楽しみもできたってことで、みんなのところ戻ろうか。
みんなって？
きっと酒場にでも集まってるわ。こういう時って眠れないもんだしね。
Dub-a-dub-a-dub. The most. Well, we got back the most important party member.
きっと
Right.
酒場にでも集まってるわ。
Ah! There's so many, like, little little like nooks and crannies to get hung up on. Mary just scarfing over there. Where's Woodrow? Oh, there he is. Okay. I was like, hold up.
All right. Well, I just looked up the main character in Tales of Destiny 2, Kyle. Just curious, why is this last name different than either Stan's or Rudy's?
Why not? Is Chelsea drunk? It really looked like Chelsea's drunk. Which is funny because, you know, of the translation, they even did the whole like, oh, we've got milk for underage people, but clearly the underage people were not drinking milk.
Oh. I need to stop reading. This is spoilery.
Stop it! Bad boy! I'll treat you like Odie.
No, that's spoilery.
Look what you've done, Jay.
I'm just not gonna say anything. It's just a me thing.
You done spoiled yourself, though.
It's a minor thing.
I hope you've learned your lesson.
I did not.
God damn it.
It's just because I don't put a lot of like value in being spoiled or not.
I didn't. And I still really don't, honestly. But I have found more enjoyment in gaming in the last like year and a half when I started trying to not be spoiled. So I do think there's something to it. It's just not like a big requirement for me.
Like, I played Fallen Order knowing exactly what happens at the end of the game, and I still fucking love the game. Great game.
Sure, I mean, I don't know.
Like,
take Elden Ring, for example. I think Elden Ring's a great example. If I knew everything in the game going into it, if I just like watched a bunch of streams and looked things up and stuff like that, like I would still love the game. I would still have a blast playing it. But there would be elements that would be removed from my experience, the sense of wonder, the sense of exploration, etc., right? Because I would just know those things. So.
Right. But I'm just trying to think, like, at least in the example of Jedi Fallen Order, like, if me not knowing how it ended, if that would have genuinely made that shit better or not. Like,
well, I mean, it's
yeah,
not...
I would have been more surprised because I wasn't expecting it, but I don't know if that translates directly into I am enjoying the game more now because of it.
I think I care about ending spoilers less than maybe anything else, honestly. Right? I mean, some games have really big twist endings, but most games have relatively foreseeable endings, right? Like, most games that's part of the game, is leading up to this climactic ending, you know? So, like, that tends to not bother me very much because a lot of those things are relatively guessable. But like, I don't want to be spoiled by knowing the generalized concepts of the story or like big boss battles or betrayals or things like that, you know? Hmm.
飛行竜の修復も完了したと今しがた報告が入った。これでいつでも飛び立てる。
In-game.
それでは発射に向けての最終シーケンスに突入します。中積レンズ砲照準セット。目標ラディスロー。
わざわざラディスローを狙う必要が？
なぜそんなことをするんです、レイノルズさん。外角をよく見てください。ところどころに青い半球のようなものが見えるでしょう。
あれは何なのだ？
エネルギーアブソーバーです。
なんじゃとということは。
あれの影響で
That seems out of left
外
field.
角に当たるとエネルギーが吸収されてしまうん
There are
です
now energy absorbers floating around.
Well, there's energy absorbers like pinned to the underside of the sphere, basically.
Was that what those like little pinholes of light were that I thought were just
Yes.
holes?
That you thought were holes, those are energy
Oh.
absorbers, yeah.
ただし
Well, I mean, I'm assuming, right? Like, I don't
Maybe,
fucking know,
yeah.
but like, I'm making the assumption, right? I'm doing the intuitive leap.
だからそこを狙って撃ち抜くのが一番確実なんです。
もしリト
What
ラ
is
がまだ生きてい
mock
た
them?
ら
That sounds like a pretty shitty Pokemon. I'm gonna let that one go.
可能性はあるんじゃないですか。
Fucking rude. Motham.
You're
Is-
you're googling it.
Motham is the evolved form of a Burmy and a Wormadam. It's one of the final, like, like Butterfree or those types of things. It's a final evolution.
Fine, I'll try.
I mean, that doesn't mean that it's good necessarily, but I'm all about anything because there's not an evolution mechanic in the thing yet. That's still one of the things they're working on, right? So anytime I see like a final evolution, I'm like, ooh, I might want that.
Yeah.
無論その場合、指令もただで
You can
進まない
sort what you caught by like base stats. So you can at least tell immediately like what's probably gonna perform all right, I assume.
Yeah, probably.
リトラにとって間違いなく死を
Ah, motherfucker. We both failed.
He gone. He gone.
そんな他に方法はないんですか。
あったらそっちを選ぶに決まっている。僕だって本当は嫌なんだ。
Oh wow, he nailed.
だから出力を上げたかったんだ。どこを狙っても大丈夫なように。でもレンズ砲の耐久力を考えると
自分を責めるなレイノルズ。お前はよくやった。
リトラ
まだ無事じゃったか。
なんとか通信機能を回復させた。もっとも風前の灯火だが。
Ritora?
They changed his name. That's the commander.
Oh.
Right? He's still stuck up in Radisrol. I don't remember what his name was, but they've changed it in this version.
ソーディアンチームの諸君、ためらってはならん。
Oh, Raker or Riker.
Yeah. There you go. So it's Ritora now, which isn't far off.
これは私が持てる情報すべてを分析し、弾き出した回答だ。
And the concept being that when we shoot this fucking cannon at Radisrol, which is one of the only unprotected parts of the Aether Sphere, Riker's getting fucked. So,
It's self-sacrifice.
I mean, this is very, again, quintessential of a JRPG, right? Like, at the end, you want someone to die because that makes it feels, right? But you don't want a party member to die.
If you're writing a story or an RPG or something like that,
地上の未来は
good guys have to die. You can't tell a story where there are absolutely no casualties on the good guy side. That just feels like a boring story.
You
have to
absolutely
have
can.
Good guys die.
I think in a more refined story, good guys dying tends to be a good thing. But you absolutely can tell a good story without good guys dying.
No, there have to be casualties on your side.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the stakes feel too low.
No, well, that's the thing. Things have to have meaningful consequences. That doesn't always mean that good guys have to die, right? Like, landscapes can be devastated, cultures can be altered for all of, time. Like, there can be other consequences that don't have to be good guys dying, right? Final Fantasy VI, right? Like, who's the good guy? Well, I mean, there are a lot of people that technically...
all the Espers.
You really count those as, like, characters at the end that die?
Sid died.
Does Sid die at the end?
Uncle Sid.
Actually, he doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's true. He can survive, but he can also die.
Okay, so you're telling me
the world is literally destroyed.
Well, yeah, that's the thing though. Like, I love how people are always like, Final Fantasy VI, the world is destroyed. Yeah, the world is destroyed, but every city that you go to is still the same city, and there aren't mass piles of, like, dead people anywhere, so was the world really destroyed? Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore 6, by the way.
I'm assuming that there were there's like unshown casualties across the world.
You're getting me with those
Also,
unshown
don't forget about
casualties.
Sion's entire kingdom was poisoned to death.
That was, okay, again...
including his wife and child.
Again, right? Good guys dying, right? There's an implication there, though. When you say good guys have to die for a story to be good, that implies not random people have to die for a story to be good. That's what we're arguing about, by the way, Maokai, is Jay says for a story to be good, good guys have to die.
There have to be casualties on the good guy side.
Right? But like, the implication there is when you say that is that there's got to be, like, the end of the third act, a good guy dies, or the final battle, a good guy dies, right? There have to be consequences, otherwise it was too easy, right?
Shadow can also die.
Huh?
It's optional. It's optional. But
Again, it's optional. That's bullshit.
All right, I'm just saying that there are optionals, but there's also non-optionals. Like,
Okay.
like people will die.
Okay. All right. Who dies in Chrono Trigger?
Again, it's optional, but it's Magus can potentially die. Luca's mom, Lara, can potentially die. Chrono technically dies.
Yeah, he's
And
present.
you can leave him dead. You don't have to revive him. It's optional.
But the canon ending... the canon ending is him being revived.
Also, if we want to talk about, like non-bad
So you
guy
gave
tragedies,
me...
the entire kingdom of Zeal fell from the sky, rending the lives of plenty of people.
Again, you're giving me inconsequentials or no names, right? Like, Luca's mom dying is so, like, back optional. You can play that entire game without
Magus
ever
can
really...
die. You can kill Magus.
You can...
At your hand, you can kill him.
You can, again, optional. So you're telling me that Chrono Trigger is optionally a good story, optionally a bad story.
Optionally die. In the story, he dies.
That's a crap argument.
Every time you play the game, he will perish.
That's a crap
It is
argument.
optional to revive him.
That is a crap argument. Absolutely a crap argument. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I cannot agree with you. Do I think there need to be stakes in good stories? Yes, I do. But the stakes do not always have to be human casualties, right? And even in a lot of good games, there are unnecessary casualties. We got really off on a tangent there.
集積レンズ回路接続ジェネレーター内圧力上昇集積レンズ砲発射準備完了総員対色対先行防
Wait, we have shock absorbers and flash protection? What the fuck?
最終カウントダウン開始
I like how he says that no one does anything. No one puts on like sunglasses or anything.
1集積レンズ砲発射
Oh. Cutscene. That's a really cool aerial shot of the city, honestly.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, we just killed Riker. Very
Destruction
nice.
rains from the heavens.
Oh yeah, just all comes falling down, kills everyone.
It just breaks in like around the globe and just.
Look, we only need to do that like, 100 more times, and we've got a big hole that we can all live under. It's fine.
ああリトラーが導いてくれたかけがえのない光だ
You only knew him for like a day.
I mean, look, your person died. Let them feel about it, Jay.
みんな大クロフトに乗り込むぞ
Can't believe you. You're over here demanding sacrifice, but then bitching when you get it.
Yeah, I didn't think that Woodrow is going to be like start waxing poetically about
I mean,
it,
he's Woodrow. He waxes poetic about things.
俺たちの手でミクトランを倒すんだ
Mictran.
飛行竜で大クロフトへ乗り込もう
Alright.
飛行竜に乗って大クロフトを目指すんだ
I'm excited. Excite bike. We are going to head to the exit of the city.
Down to Electric Avenue.
And that, I think, is going to be the end of this episode. If you are watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing, potentially to the end of the game. If you're watching on YouTube, this might be the countdown to the end of the game. So, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.